What cultural or social issues should be at the front of this new president's agenda with this opportunity that he has of being the first African American president?
Well, for Obama, I think and for his presidency, I think there's a suggestion and a presupposition that because he is who he is, and also because of his experience. I mean, he could be an African person and never have been a community organizer, and he may have just been in the corporate world, in Fortune 500 companies for all of his life, adult life. But partially because of who he is, I think, and because of his experience, we're suggesting that there might be, if you will, a more leftist or popular kind of connection to his politics. Now, of course, the right wing, if you will, the conservatives, so called, are saying that that's exactly what he is. I mean, he's being called a socialist, if you will, and I think that's ludicrous to even suggest that, for him. And that's not to disparage socialism, but he is not a socialist by any means, if you will. He's clearly moderating, his politics, I think, at this time, and a number of people who are looking at his presidency are saying that. Now, does he have an opportunity to do some things that haven't been done before? Of course. Does his being a person of African descent make that any easier? No. Any of the presidents, if they so chose, could do things in different ways. And part of the suggestion here is that other things need to be done that haven't been done with the presidency. And actually to place that all upon the arrival of an African person, pardon me, might be out of line with what's reliable, and what's possible for him. There's a lot running on his presidency at this time, of course, but we do have to look at what our expectations are, and are they realistic for him in what he's doing right now. Now, on another level, we could say that because he's a person of African descent, he's going to have a greater focus on African people's issues and things like that. If that's the case, we have to look at why are African people's issues still different from other people's issues. Okay? Why is it that we're still reading into politics a sense of, well, if we put an African person in front of the crowd, the African people in that crowd will identify with that person more than other people. If that's the suggestion that we're making, and that's what has been said in the media, and how we're still running these things, we're saying that demographics matter in this way. We are saying that race matters. So I think it says much more than what Obama will ever do in 4 or 8 years. It says, well, what is our way of holding him as a president, and what are our expectations, and what's the filter through which we see his presidency? That may be the most important thing that we have to figure out. Not so much what he does, but how we see what he does, and what our expectations of him are. Now, on a third level, we could say that because of his experiences and his popular connection through community organizing, that he is going to do some things that, again, haven't been done, because the presidency doesn't necessarily represent working class people and poor people in a really positive way without being fought against. So the machine of politics, responds to pressure from below and above and around it. It doesn't necessarily self-tend to that. So with him having that experience, he may carry that into the White House and do something that hasn't been done. It still remains to be seen, though it seems like he's doing definitely some things differently than other presidents have done. And I think just to watch him and support him might be yet the best thing we can do in this situation.
Professor Ukumbwa Sauti, thank you very much for joining us.
I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.